been a bit.
It's been a bit. Deanna.
I know. I'm back.
I feel so bad. But this is better than it was.
Yeah. I sent you a couple recordings and you were gracious enough or nice enough to be like, hold on, sister. Not quite there. Because I've been biting at the bit.
I know. God. Okay, so I'm just going to, this is all we're going to say because we're saving it for the Patreon. If you want to hear our thoughts on Scandal, we will be chatting about that on the Patreon right after we record this episode. So if there's ever a better endorsement to join our Patreon,
Jeez,
I
know.
I don't think there is one. So that's patreon.com/familykarmakast with a K. But we are here to recap the finale.
I know. And we've both been receiving a lot of DMs about when we're going to talk. And, I was thinking because, losing my voice and stuff, it's like maybe I just needed to marinate on Bravo for a bit because, you and I run our mouth. We do.
Yes.
For better or worse.
It's good to have some time to reflect.
Especially the Tom and Ariana stuff. It's like every minute is breaking news.
Yeah. So that's all we're going to say. Let's save it. That's for the Patreon. Okay. But marinating on this episode and the whole season, I think it's like, okay, the show's over. We had the finale. I don't know about you, but I just felt like the finale just ended. And I was like, wait, what? It's over?
Yeah. What is it called when it's not the chyrons, because the chyrons are right when it says Deanna Bianco podcast host. That's a chiron, right?
Oh, I don't even know what that's called.
What's the thing called where it's the updates at the end?
I don't. Like the credits?
Yeah. Well, it's just Anisha's living.
Yes. Yeah. The little thing that says now this is what they're up to with bullet points.
Yes. I'll never forget when Dorinda stormed out of the party at the last episode when she was drunk. They just did a picture of something she was holding, and it's Dorinda is blah, blah, blah. But okay, so it does leave off, but I do think I want to have faith a little bit.
Yeah.
There's so much to unpack.
There's so
that
much.
We can't do ourselves, that I do think that they might be getting, I'm wondering if they're going to ship Brian, well, he's already in Colorado, off to Winter House, and then they're just going to get right to filming.
I hope so, because I think the only thing that's good about it ending in such an abrupt way without a proper reunion is that a season 4 is in the works.
I think do. I would, I think last year or last time during this moment in post-season, you and I were I think so, but I think I would put my money on that there's going to be a next season and there's probably pre-production happening. And and also it's if you know something, say something. So just DM us.
Yeah, tell us. At this point, and we've been saying this forever, it's all of these Bravo shows, the more that we talk about them, the more that there's buzz about what's going on, the more people are interested.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
And there's a lot of secrecy around Family Karma still, and it's
so wild.
3 seasons in. I don't understand.
And I don't understand because who was I looking at there? I was looking at, maybe it was Garcelle. I was looking at her Instagram, and, it's interesting how certain housewives can post pictures of when they're filming. They were going on a girls' trip on a PJ. Yes, I said PJ.
PJ.
And, and Family Karma's just has to keep everything under wraps. It's interesting because even Brian going off to Winter House.
Yes, it's all secret.
We didn't even know that. We did, but he wasn't posting pictures of oh, I'm packing, blah, 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 I know. It's oh, there will be news soon. And it's okay, so we can infer on that, but just tell us, and the only thing I can think is it's a breach of their contract or something. But that doesn't make sense because they are the brand. You want your, if they are the Happy Meal, you want the Happy Meal featured in every television show or a can of Coke, or you want someone drinking the can of Coke with the label out, and I just don't understand the different rules and norms for certain Bravo celebrities versus them.
Yeah, I don't
I mean, we see Craig's fucking face everywhere.
I know.
Not to bring it's like I haven't watched Southern Charm in ages, and I know exactly like what Craig is up to and his goddamn pillows.
I know, goddamn pillows.
And like that's another thing. I don't even know if we care to touch upon that, but the Southern Charm, we don't give a shit. Okay.
No.
But I have to say, I just want to say I had an LOL moment with this episode.
Okay.
The horse was getting me. Like the horse, Nicholas, when it's like you see how smooth things are going for Amrit, and he's like, and then someone hands Nicholas the baby. And
he's Nicholas is no,
this isn't a good idea. Like I rewound it and watched it twice because I mean I think it just cracked me up so much.
It was so funny. Him just saying like, this feels like Runaway Bride. It's like, and
they looked, and the thing is like what I love about them is they both looked gorgeous.
They looked, incredible.
And I know with Miami, we get all these filters, right? And it's like sparkle glitter, but like the Family Karma folks don't even need that to look like they're glowing.
No. And like, so my brother's getting married this summer, and so I've been.
Oh my God! Are you allowed to tell me? Is it in Colorado or is it?
It is in Boulder.
Shut the fuck up!
It's in Boulder. He's.
Is it going to be traditional? I feel like this is pertinent to the podcast. Yes. Is it going to be traditional or no?
So he's marrying a woman who is half Persian and half Filipino. So it's going to be predominantly like Indian stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but there's going to be elements of her cultures as well. And it's definitely like a hybrid, like a westernized Indian wedding.
How much are your parents involved in it, if you don't mind me asking?
Not at all.
Right.
My brother.
Was there instinct to get involved or like, no, that's just the boundaries y'all created?
And like the most they're doing is they're hosting the Sangeet at their house.
Okay.
And which is a lot. I even that I'm like, Ravi, are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because I think, like my brother's 40. Like he can plan his own wedding. He doesn't like need my parents to be there. And he asked them, like, I want this to be mine. Like, please don't get too involved. Like, I want you to be guests at my wedding and have a good time type vibe.
Incredible. And your mom, like, your mom seems like she would understand that.
She does understand that. And she's been really helpful with the outfits because she's in India right now. So she's like getting outfits for people. So that brings me to like just looking at some of the male styles that are out there because I'm trying to like find something for Patrick. Like Amrit and Nicholas's clothing for this wedding was stunning. Like just stunning. I wish I could take that stuff and put it on Patrick.
Okay, now I'm getting personal. What are you looking at to get? Because I think this is also like a lesson like in our podcast of things that like we white people know. Like what are you thinking for Patrick who's white who's going to this wedding?
I mean, I think it's going to be fun. I think, it's...
Like outfit-wise. Did I clarify outfit-wise?
Outfit,
Oh, sorry. I meant, sorry. You know me. I'm all about the clothes. So I just care.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, I really wish I could take some of what Amrit and Nicholas wore and just like copy that and give it to Patrick to wear. There's only one event that I feel like he really needs to wear traditional Indian clothes, and that's the actual wedding ceremony. Yeah. So,
and what are you gonna wear for that?
I found a lehenga that I want to wear. So
what color
very,
is it gonna be?
Crop top skirt situation. It's kind of like a peacock blue.
Oh my God!
And it has like kind of a
stunning
peacock style on it.
Oh my gosh,
and the crop
Indra.
top is not like too high cut. Like it goes down a little.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
don't want to show too much skin.
I know, and like the thing is like when I look at Richa, and like she, I want to be that.
Yeah,
like because she just like she's
she
gorgeous.
Looks so good.
She looks so good, and. But then I think I would lean towards like you know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like, I
am not be confident enough. Yeah. And like I have to say, after baby number 2, my stomach is a mess.
Changes.
Like,
it all changes.
I'm like, how do these stretch marks are never going away type situation, like I can only wear one-piece bathing suits type situation for the rest of my life.
I think I vote like I'm gonna be, not to brag, humble brag, but I'm gonna be in a bikini next week, so it's like hit me all real quick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like fuck it, you know, like my butt's gonna be showing, like I have a bikini that my butt's gonna be showing. Yeah. I'm like, fuck it. Like, here are my stretch marks. You know, here, I'm just like, it's 2023 with, you know, women have been, we talk about all the time of just like who we should be and how our bodies should look after children. And I'm like, fuck it all. Yeah. I support you going out in your two-piece. I would be proud to stand next to you in your two-piece.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I keep thinking about, like, do you remember back in the 90s, like Tara Reid had these pictures of her midriff, and it looked like, I remember being so mean about it, being like, what's wrong with her
Perez
stomach?
Hilton.
So
remember Perez Hilton? That's all Perez.
His
I'm not saying it's,
yeah.
And I think it's hard because we could talk about this more on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Some of our first introductions to pop culture of like ingesting this in the way that we're currently ingesting like the Bravo like gossip was through this like negative lens, you know?
Like was very anti-women and anti-perfect women.
And anti if you had a substance use disorder.
Yeah.
And you were a female in the spotlight.
Yeah, and there was something like demonic about you or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like, I think it goes into like what we're talking about with family karma and the women on there. Yeah. Like there always has to be space for the yes and.
Yes.
You know, like the Lopa aunties is like, Lopa, we always say, is very complicated. Very
so
complicated.
Yes.
And I think that's the thing that we get with the aunties, if you'll let me go a little further.
Yes.
Is the relationships. They're not these new relationships that we're going to see on like New York with Jenna Lyons and like
totally new.
The cast of characters. It's like there's a lot of chapters in their lives, in their personal lives and in their relationship lives. And so it can't be so black and white.
No, it can't be. And so let's talk about the auntie drama on the episode. Yeah. Because this is a big moment. Dharma auntie at the tea dance goes to talk to Reshma auntie. And what did you feel about it? Like, what did you think?
It's so interesting because when you're bouncing between that New Jersey, every confrontation in Jersey
is wild.
It's like Jennifer Adlin calling like someone a dumb bitch, you know, and versus that, it's like, okay, well, this is like the Bravo etiquette book.
Right.
And honestly, when I was thinking about that, I was thinking of like, it is a little bit, we're all going to be at events where it's someone we don't want to see, someone we don't want to talk to, and we have to go over and say hi. And I did think that it didn't elevate. It wasn't too confrontational, and it was held with class and like dignity.
Yeah, Dharma auntie, I think she went in to that conversation saying like, I'm going to greet you and I'm going to acknowledge that there's tension between us and also acknowledge that, you know, I want the kids to be okay. I want us to be okay because of that. Like, and I'm just extending the olive branch.
100%.
Reshma auntie just totally shut it down. 100% shut it down. It was like, it wasn't even so much the like, I don't know kind of answer. It was like when she was like almost bragging afterwards, like, oh, well, it's like, it's my son's wedding, you know, like this is like my son's wedding, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this is a weird response to something. Like, she was clearly feeling like, don't bring this up now type of situation.
And
I'm like you have to say hi to each other.
I know. And it's so hard because it's like, I see like Italians do that. Italian Americans, I can say. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like you never bring stuff up. And it's always like, this is not like, it's always like, this is not the time.
Yeah.
This is not the time. And then it's never the time.
And then it's never the time.
And then it's like the boiling water is just simmering, right? Mm-hmm. And it's getting like hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
Until we get like a season 4 where we're going to see kind of like, okay, if you had I'm going to throw this out there. If you had to make a prediction, do you think that they're going to see each other until they start shooting season 4?
I don't think they're friends. Like,
but then the tension's just going to build.
It's just going to build, and then they're going to have situations where they need to film together, and it'll be one thing or another. I mean, Reshma auntie seems to be kind of in the center of a lot of drama in the auntie group.
Yeah.
Like, first it was with Lopa, and now it's with Dharma auntie. I don't really know. I mean, she's a very, like, one thing that confused me about her reaction, too, is that, like, she's talked a lot on the show about how, like, you need to be present in the moment and, like, forgiveness and, like, things like that. And it's just, she's not walking the talk. Like, she's not walking the walk, sorry.
Yeah.
She's talking the talk, but not walking the walk.
Yeah. I don't know if about you, but something I see, and it's just an observation, it might not be true.
Yeah.
I can see this, like, veil kind of come down when she's confronted.
Yes. Yeah.
You can see, like, the not going to take this on. And I'm just putting my hand kind of guiding it down my face because, like, it's like she's not going to connect. You know what I mean?
Like shutting down
It's like the
bit.
Self-protection of not going to address this, not going to take it on, not going to let your words land on me so much. And I don't mean this negative, and I could be totally fucking wrong. But it is like one of those things where you can I that's what I observe. And it's interesting because I think it's interesting also because it's like watching like her and Vishal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm wondering what kind of closed conversations that are happening behind closed doors where she is like, I don't know if I can take this on. And it's nothing bad about her with the drinking and stuff like that. It's like the immediate resolution is not necessarily around the corner. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's like, and she's a busy woman too. Maybe that has something to do with it, is she just doesn't have the space to, like, really reckon with things sometimes. And I don't know. I mean, it's clear that those two just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And it's like the oil and water situation.
Yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to, if you don't mind, like, just getting on Vishal. Like, I think I was wondering if you're seeing like any negative feedback about Vishal having the first drink in 45 days, or
I didn't see. There may have been some stuff, but that wasn't the main thing that I saw in reaction to this episode.
What was the main thing you think you saw?
It was the auntie drama and just reacting to how beautiful the wedding was.
It was, yes.
I continue to see a lot of really mean and nasty comments about Nicholas, which I am not here for.
What? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what? Why?
People think he's stuck up, entitled, that he's not thankful, like all of these. I'm like,
what are we doing, people?
If that is your perspective, you have completely missed the point of this season. Like, completely missed the point of this whole story to villainize Nicholas in that way. I mean, it's like people are calling him like a little, like, spoiled brat. Like,
what?
It's wild. It's wild. But I mean, I just feel like this is an example of a family, because he's part of the Kapai family now, where there is tension and they talk about it. I mean, in Suresh Uncle's speech, he says, Nicholas, I know that we fight and disagree, but it always comes back to love. Like,
it always
acknowledges
comes back to love.
it, you know, like there's an acknowledgement that, like, there is tension here, but that's the only way that they can all live with that and have, like, harmony at the end of the day. And we hear from on the Watch What Happens Live, like, as we talked to them on our podcast, they came to visit, like, Nicholas's parents came for 3 weeks. They all hung out together. They had these like amazing moments of, like, love and affection for each other during that time. Like,
it's so hard to hear. It's so hard to hear.
It's so hard to hear. Yeah.
I think it's just like, I think that's the thing that we talk about is, like, we can't hold the yes and in the Bravo universe. Mm-hmm. You know, really, which I'll get into it. I'll get into the yes and when it's the Tom and Ariana stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, I just think, I don't. It's hard because I don't even want to comment on that. like that stuff because it's so far out of my wheelhouse as someone who tries to look at things, and I don't always, but my goal is to look at it in like a compassioning, understanding manner.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think it's like, y'all, come on.
Yeah. It's like disappointing. With the drinking stuff though, I mean, my reaction to it is like Vishal is on a journey with his alcohol consumption, and it seemed important to him to have a drink with Amrit at his wedding. He felt he was ready for it. An interesting thing that we saw on Watch What Happens Live is he was asked about his drinking, and he said, I don't binge drink. I will have a drink or two here and there. And Andy asked Richa how she felt about it, and she just took a sip of her drink and declined to answer.
Interesting.
So I think there's still some stuff going on in their relationship in relation to Vishal's drinking. But his answer was, I don't binge drink anymore. I have a drink or two sometimes. And my sense was that Richa doesn't really necessarily agree that is always the case.
Right.
So I don't know. But I don't know.
It's tough. And we'll revisit, of course, and see. I'm just saying season 4 is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. We're season 4, we're manifesting.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And I know we've kind of touched upon it, but if we can kind of dig a little deeper of, okay, so we're seeing Anisha, and she's put up some walls. And for me, still thinking, because it's been, I don't want to say an overload, because she's just posting and there's reposts, of course, about her wedding.
Yes.
And her people spread. How much is this like Robin on Potomac covering up for Juan Dixon, of Anisha covering up her relationship only to spread it to People magazine, which 100% paid for the pictures and the content.
Well, she said in her Instagram stories, I did not get paid, which I just don't understand. I think you have to get paid.
But,
right?
Okay, so say like if that is the truth, why would you publicize it through People magazine when you have loyal fan base through Bravo?
She said Bravo and I and People worked together on this and arranged for it to come out with the finale. And I'm like,
I don't understand.
It's like literally you're on a reality TV show where the fans, like one of the number one questions I've been getting all season is, I want to see the husband.
I know.
Like, I want to meet the husband. And so everything she said about like, these are the reasons why he doesn't want to be in the public eye is kind of shot out the window all of a sudden.
And I get like I want to also confirm that like you and I are on. If he doesn't want to be in the public eye, that's fine.
100%.
100%. Yeah. He's he's a doctor, whatever he is, and he's living his life in Arizona, and like this is probably something he didn't foresee, and but it's just hard to hold both in like one hand of, okay, well, Nisha, we've been on this journey. Yeah. And you're saying, well, no one's ever met blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, well, now it's like not even your loyal Bravo fans are, everyone's clicking on people.com to see your photos and being like maybe even who's Anisha.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing. And maybe I'll just never understand it. And that's outside of my realm.
I don't understand it. I think what I'm learning from this season about Anisha just overall is she's kind of full of contradictions. Mm-hmm. Like she'll kind of say one thing and then the next moment it's something else. And it's sort of like always in response to, I think, like what people are saying to her in a way.
Are you trying to say she feels like her back's up against the wall that's like, and she's just reacting, whether that's the truth or not?
That's you're saying it in a much more diplomatic way than me.
Wait, was mine meaner or not meaner?
No, I think yours was nicer than mine.
Okay. I don't know. I think both are.
She's feeling the pressure of being on reality TV. She did sign up for it. All these things that we've talked about time and time again. But it's like, I think when you're getting questioned in the DMs, she's probably getting tons of DMs, tons of comments, tons of like bullshit from people. And she feels like she needs to have an answer. And then sometimes to me, I'm like, the answers don't always fall in line with what you said before. There's a little bit of contradiction. And so for me, it's a little confusing. And at the same time, I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, Anisha, whatever you want to do. It's not that deep. Yeah. Like, your husband's out there now. We all see him. Like, can we move on? It's like that type of deal.
Right.
But like, it is a little bit disappointing. Like, that was one thing I would have loved to see in this finale is like him, and maybe we will see him more next season. Maybe he'll agree to be on camera. Maybe not. People are allowed to change their minds about that. Of course. But I mean, one thing that I have seen, which is really fantastic. Like, I put the pictures up on our Instagram. It's the post that's done the best we've ever posted. I think we got like over 5,000 likes or something. Everyone is like, congratulations. I'm so happy for you, Nisha. Like, your husband's so handsome.
Oh, yes.
Like,
and he's good.
He's so handsome.
And I will say, like, handsome couple. Anisha's gorgeous.
Yes.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah. And so it's all love,
It's all
like,
love.
Everyone's just like happy about it. So it's like, it's almost like, well, why wouldn't you have shared this,
Yeah. And I think it's interesting when you get Monica, who we saw like go on like the the Sidewinder, basically roller coaster, which is actually a roller coaster at Elitch's in Denver, Colorado. Do you remember the Sidewinder?
Yes.
I've only been to the old Elitch's, but apparently it's still there.
Now it's a Six Flags, but it's still like Elitch's Six Flags. Yeah.
And it's just so interesting because we watched Monica just like she had to go on this little bit of a hero's journey with her relationship, and we saw like, I don't even want to say bumps in the road, but like she was getting sucker punched.
Oh my gosh, Monica.
Through the whole season. It's just like,
yes.
And I guess like you want to say like in the end, it was very powerful that she stands on her own 2 feet, which we didn't even get the closure on that. I know.
I mean, the last thing we see her say is that she's not sure that he didn't cheat. And that's the last thing we see her say. And then we have Watch What Happens Live, and Andy asks Amrit what their reactions are. Like, is Risha part of the group since the split? And then Amrit gives this very weird like answer where he's like, well, he's still around, but Monica's very guarded. And Vishal's like, just say what's going on. And then Andy doesn't push it. Like, Amrit doesn't say anything. And then Andy moves on to the next question. Yeah. And I'm like, if you had been watching the show, you would have pushed for an answer. Like, it was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And I'm just like, okay, I guess this is season 4 stuff. Like, maybe Monica doesn't want it out there. I don't know. Like, if that's the case, okay, that's fine. But like, it feels to me like the network is like keep holding stuff back from us when it comes to this storyline, when it's like literally one of the main storylines of the season. And we're left high and dry. I mean, this episode ends with Amrit saying, I haven't signed the marriage license yet. And then that's it. Like, cut to Watch What Happens Live. So weird. So weird.
Yeah. I just want to think that it's so hard because I want to think they're picking up the cameras. But then with the Tom and Ariana stuff going on,
I know.
It's like, it's literally like,
it's an emergency.
We found we found missiles, in Sir, we found missiles, like weapons of mass destruction.
All hands on deck.
It's like, I don't remember how the history and the facts about that, and I'm ashamed to say, but I do know, like, I know all hands are on deck of, papers. It's the whole thing, like papers were thrown.
Yeah.
Everyone's like tuning in.
Yeah.
But it's just hard because I don't think they'll push season 4 out of the realm, but I do hope that the pre-production.
I hope it's not delayed and stuff. I mean,
I hope those permits are in.
Yeah, and like Winter House, the Toms are supposed to go, and I just saw that they're not
Both Toms
probably. Yeah, because like Schwartz is getting a lot of heat now too, because people are wondering if he knew. But I mean, it's just like, yeah, I just hope the momentum doesn't slow down for the show. I hope that they keep going.
I do think the train got more people on it this season, because I think the thing is that there was such a large gap between the seasons that people started to pick it up in their downtime.
Yeah.
And I would love like something to be, because it's spring. Well, it's kind of spring. Late summer, like if we could see the season for like, episode 1.
Right. Like, let's just get it done, produced, and just put it back on our airwaves. Like, that's the thing is with these reality shows, like now in the age of social media, we see what's happening in real time, and then it takes like 8 more months for the season to come out, and we all already know what's happening. So like with Vanderpump right now, they're like, they picked up the cameras again, and they're going to be showing us what is going on at the end of the season that's filming right now. I'm like, why can't we do that more with other Bravo shows?
I know.
So, I mean, I don't know. Speaking of Monica and Rishi, though, one thing that I saw a lot of comments on, and I was also like, what the fuck, was like Rish's lack of emotion at the ceremony was like, I mean, maybe that was just the shots they were showing us, and maybe he did get emotional. But Monica said, like, Rishi was not emotional at all. And, like, to me, I don't think you have to be emotional in a situation like that. Like, people show emotions in different ways.
100%.
But for me, like, in a relationship, like, I would want someone to be a little bit more emotive in such a, like, loving, like, charged situation like that wedding, you know?
Yeah, I would be interesting, like, if I was his therapist or girlfriend or whatever, to like explore that with him, and have like a conversation of like, because it's like I've said, you know, in therapy, maybe I've said it on this podcast, I say it in my classes all the time, like I can go into shutdown mode. Like that is like my easiest.
Yep.
It is like as easy as like flipping my middle finger. And I'm wondering if it was all too much, and he did kind of go into like just like kind of shutdown mode.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he did, but like what were you thinking? And again, I think it's so hard because, you know, with men, there is the whole thing with men. You are taught from a young age, people to not show emotion.
Cry. Yeah.
And the harder that you feel the emotion, to shut down even more.
Yeah.
Just saying, like, playing devil's advocate.
Well, and that's what was so, like, beautiful about Brian, just, like,
or losing
it. Like,
I know.
Seeing them cry, like, because Brian is, like, such a bro, right? Like,
he is. And he is. But the thing is something that, like, I don't want to say turns me on, but it kind of does. Is like when a man starts crying, like my heart, like it's like a banana peel.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
it just
oh my gosh,
it's like my attraction towards someone just like opens up. You know, like I can count on one hand how many times Andrew's cried.
Yeah.
In front of me. He's not a crier. But like, and I cry all the time. Listen, I'm like, I'm so. How?
Oh yeah, I cry like probably 2 days ago. I don't even.
100%. It's like 48-hour rule.
I cry in front of the TV almost every day. Like if I see a touching commercial or anything. I mean, I cried watching this episode. Yes.
Oh my God! The second Frankie and Alexia walk on the screen with Miami,
it's over. I start to tear up. It's over.
But like for me, it's like when I saw Brian crying. Is this weird? Like I was like, I'm very much attracted to you right now.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a good quality. Yeah, like I think it is, and like it was just so. It's just like it was so sweet to see him like feeling that about that, because we were all feeling that, and then just to see the juxtaposition of Rishi just like not having any emotion at all was like very jarring.
Well, that he showed, right? We want to clarify that he showed. True. We don't. He could be shitting his pants internally, being like, they're expecting me to, like, you know, it's like the conflicting thing. Like they're expecting me. I just had an intense conversation with Monica's dad.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be the next one at the altar. It's not. I don't want to say altar. That's a very Christian thing. But like the next one.
Yeah.
Up on the stand, and like. like maybe it is like that, oh fucking shit moment. Like this is where the rubber hits the road of like,
yeah.
People are seeing like, you know, me who I am.
Yep.
You know, of someone who is not proposing. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Just throwing that out there.
Okay, one thing I want to acknowledge that they mentioned on Watch What Happens Live. Apparently, Vishal and Richa went 3 times over budget on their wedding.
Holy fuck. Does that mean multiple, like their budget is say like 100,000 and it came out to be 300,000?
Yes. And Richa said it was because of the amount of alcohol that was consumed.
Holy cow.
And then you look at Amrit's wedding, and at the beginning of the episode, Anisha's like, yeah, there was $10,000 left
that is
at the
so
bar.
Funny. When they said that.
Oh my God.
For me, is like when I get into wedding mode, and of course when I'm not with my kids.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Are you the person that dips away from the bar? Or are you the person that's like, let's do this?
You know what I love to do at a wedding open bar? And so everyone invite me to your weddings because I'll cost you a lot of money. I like to get all my friends together and do tequila shots.
Oh my God, girl. Same. I love turning it up because I'm like, this is the one time.
This is my night out. Like,
yes.
As mothers of young children,
oh my God,
this is our night out.
And like, and I just love where it's like everyone who's going to turn up. And then like the thing at like weddings is like, you and I love to dance.
Yes.
And there is the dancing built in. Like
it's
that's
built,
the thing.
It's a dance party. That's what it is.
So it's like knowing that there's like, you can turn it up and the dancing is going to be built in and everyone's on the same page to dance, because sometimes, you know, when you go out and you're the only person being like, I want to go out and dance, and everyone's like, no, I want to like hang out at this thing.
Yeah.
It's cool when you're all on the same like wavelength with that.
And I feel like at a wedding, if there's ever going to be a place where everyone's on the same wavelength, it's usually on a wedding dance floor with an open bar.
Yeah.
Everyone, let's do a shot and then go like dance our asses off.
Yeah, and especially like when the weather's perfect and you're looking your best and you're feeling your best and celebrating, and I don't know. I'm definitely someone who's like, I want to see how far I can take it into the night. Yeah. But then like regretting it the next day.
Yeah, but how often do we really get to do that these days?
How often do we get to go to weddings? I mean,
my God,
I feel like I'm aging out of that shit.
I agree. So let's talk about Bali's journey, because we see Bali. It come to an end here.
My girl.
And
my girl, my boy, because O'Malley's my boy. I'm very attracted.
I like seeing O'Malley say a little bit more about this.
Okay, can I say, like, I think O'Malley is also really hot.
Yeah, O'Malley's totally a catch. 100%.
Yeah.
And like,
seems like I'm gonna be so gross. No, I'm not gonna say it.
O'Malley's one of our biggest fans. Hi, O'Malley.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna say it. I forgot. Yeah, and I didn't forget about him, but I forgot he listens so much.
And we love that. We love you, O'Malley.
Definitely huge crush.
I loved how he was like.
Is he on Instagram?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, can you send me O'Malley? I'm gonna follow you. I'm not expecting a follow back.
Oh, he will follow you back.
Oh, I love him. O'Malley, I'm gonna follow you.
He just posted this stunning photo of Bali and was like,
"Did you see they got a new puppy?
They did.
They got a new puppy.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, Yeah, I was like, oh, but because Bali's up, you know, up north. And when I say up north, North Carolina or South Carolina,
she was Kentucky.
I'm so sorry. I feel like such a Yankee. You know how Yankees like, and I say Yankee
living
like,
in the West. Like, we don't know
it's just
anything.
like the South, everything. Like, I don't know where. Again, you can fucking slap me. Like, I don't know where Alabama is, Mississippi. I know where Florida is.
It's all in the South.
I don't really know where Georgia.
Florida, like to the west a little.
I don't know if like Tennessee is above North Carolina or below. And like,
I think it's next to it.
And I think like Southern people, I want to say maybe feel the same about like where's New Hampshire?
Oh yeah,
where's
like
Vermont? You know, like where's Boston located?
Right.
So I think they got a new puppy, and I think it's like a little golden retriever lab. It's adorable.
Oh my God. They had the cutest puppies. I just loved how O'Malley was like, I want you, like, I want to apologize if you haven't felt welcome to come here. And I'm like, O'Malley, way to be the bigger person, you know, because like he was just like, of course, like the house is better with you in it, you know that, like, and I think I want it's like, you there. It's so sweet.
Sorry, watching Jersey where we're getting these like again, like with Jersey, it's always about talking
Polly.
about how big everyone's balls is, how much can you drink. Like this toxic masculinity. Oh, look, his like dick's like 2 inches or whatever, and it's like
gross.
Less of that on Bravo.
Yeah,
more of O'Malley, like that kind of like energy. That's the male energy that we want from our Bravo celebrities, and more Brian
O'Malley
crying.
Could teach. I want to like ship O'Malley in to do like work with those men on Jersey. To be and like, this is how you treat a woman.
I will say something very controversial.
Okay.
Louis is growing on me.
Okay. Save it for the Patreon. I can't. One thing I want to say, though, Amrit posted on his Instagram, just the Jersey connection. Apparently, Amrit and Marge are friends. I don't know how that happened, but I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
I think Marge is friends with a lot of folks. Like, I think
she is
like very much. I think she's such like a laid back kind of like likes everyone and doesn't have as much of an ego or maybe no ego as like, you know, a Melissa or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, like supports everyone. I mean, this last week she was on the Rose podcast, Art and Marine's podcast, talking about The Bachelor.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
that makes me love Marge more.
Yeah. She was just like, I've never watched The Bachelor and I wanted to do a podcast with you, Arden. And so I will watch this episode and kind of comment on it from a reality professional celebrity. And it was like, I
love it.
It was just showed. It's like, there's not a lot of ego with her or no ego.
No. And we love that in a Bravo celebrity.
And I think if I had to hang out with one couple on Jersey, it would be her and her husband. Because
I know her husband seems like the nicest.
He's a sweetheart,
guy.
and like I have like kind of tongue in cheek made fun. But like I love him, and if I had to go out with someone on the Jersey males, like I would of course choose what's her name's husband, who turns me on so much. Not Jennifer. Well, actually, Jennifer's husband kind of turns me on.
Yeah, he's hot.
Who's the one who got kicked off or is a friend of that with the eating disorder?
Oh, Margaret. Oh, you think Evan's hot?
Evan's hot.
People think Evan's hot. I think
Evan's really hot.
Okay. I think we should end.
Okay, yeah, let's end because I want my voice.
Well, I want to end it with just acknowledging how beautiful the ceremony was.
Okay, well, I was like the hottest cast in Bravo history.
Because you and I mean, this is a Mariah Carey Stan podcast.
Oh, and Sue's birthday is coming up.
Me and Mariah have the same birthday, by the way.
And you know, cousin Mary's birthday's on the 11th, so shout out to her.
Oh my God, is that true?
Yeah, it's on Saturday, 3/11.
Oh, that's the same as my niece, so I will remember that.
Yay.
But okay, so when Nicholas quoted Mariah Carey in his vows, I was like, never have I loved this man more. Never have I loved this man more. It was so perfect. And the way he called Amrit Janu was, it made me
Can you explain
cry.
that?
It means like dear or like sweetie. Like, you know how people say like babe or like my love or whatever. It's kind of like that.
And to add to this, when Amrit went down the aisle and touched Nicholas's parents' feet.
Oh my God. I
can't even
tears.
I just can't. It's like it's tears and beyond.
Yeah.
You know, and it is this life lesson of we hold on to things, right? Mm-hmm. We hold on to this like conflicting energy of like, you know, his parents. Nicholas' parents are, I believe, doing the best they can.
Yes, agreed.
But to accept and to love, and to honor is just it summed up their relationship in so many ways. And apparently, they said at Watch What Happens Live, Nicholas's parents were dancing the most during the Barat, which is it just makes me cry to think about it. And I think we need to learn from this. It's like, you know, I think a lot of us live with trauma from the Trump era, which is still going on And
it's not
and
over.
we can expect, sometimes we want people to get from point A to point Z and just do the leapfrog. But it's these little steps that we need to, like, it's the finer things in life.
Yeah.
These little moments that we need to highlight and that make life worth living and relationships worth pursuing.
And it teaches us so much, like you said. I mean...
Yeah, and we should just end on a positive note, I think, in this podcast.
Exactly. And I want to just also acknowledge what Amrit said in his vows about how Nicholas really saved him in some, really saved him. Like, you could feel the gravity of what he was saying. And I think we should end with a love note to our main man, Theo.
Shout out to a king who couldn't be without his two kings.
He couldn't be. And the way he howled and walked around the fire with them, that dog,
that cape
is...
that green cape.
Oh my God. This is the best dog on Bravo. Like,
we're talking again. Like, I've been posting more on Instagram of my dog because all dogs are supermodels.
Your dog is beautiful. Yes,
this dog is a supermodel.
Truly,
we are looking.
Naomi Campbell.
We're looking. Actually, I'm thinking because I'm thinking since he's more blonde.
Yeah,
I'm really thinking like a Claudia Schiffer. Or just like a Cindy Crawford, like maybe more Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford vibes.
He gives me the Cindy Crawford confidence and just a head turner, if you will.
Absolutely, 100%. This has been an incredible season. I wish they could have done the end of it a little bit more justice,
100%.
But we're ending on a positive note. We're manifesting season 4,
and it's gonna happen. Who are we kidding?
It's gonna happen. Thank you all for joining us with these recaps. We are kind of like figuring out next steps, but the one thing that for sure is happening is our Patreon.
The Patreon.
So join us there if you want to stay, with our Bravo pop culture recaps. $3 a month, an episode every week. We are going to get off of this episode and record our Vanderpump thoughts. And there's so much.
So much. And y'all, so I know we've gotten so many more listeners, and we couldn't do this podcast without you. And I'm really thankful for everyone that listens to us running our mouths. And
agreed.
If you could just also rate and review us. If you've gotten this far, go to iTunes and rate and review us.
Yeah.
And keep in contact with us online. Tell us what you want to hear about. And, because this is a conversation, even though it's a podcast, it is a conversation.
Yes. And I love being with people in the DMs. I love all the conversations that are had there. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Family Karma Kast, and interact with us because we love it.
We love it.
And we will keep you updated as soon as we hear anything about season 4, anything about Winter House with Brian, all of these things.
And don't think we haven't DM'd, because Brian's in our state and we've DM'd Brian.
I DM'd Brian and he didn't get back to me, and I'm
and then I was like, I had DM'd Brian. And you're like, oh, I already DM'd Brian. And honestly, he hasn't even seen the DMs because I think he's so just probably in Winter House right now. And you know what?
Brian, you're invited to Boulder. You're invited to a night out with us in Boulder.
Hook up with him.
Not us, but someone else.
No, but you know what I mean? He needs, I support, I am Austin doesn't need ass. All these guys don't need ass. Brian deserves ass, okay?
Yeah, and Brian
He's
gets
hot.
it.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not worried about that boy.
Remember those condoms on the floor?
Oh my God. I think about that a lot. I do think about those condoms.
All right. So with that, I think we're going to sign off. Everybody join us on Patreon, and namaste,
bitches.